we're not looking at the manuscript.
I'd better get back to the quest.
Right. May as well go here. There's a clown. This bit here looks very out of place, doesn't it? Right, we've got him. We can go up there. We've got the crowd and we've got the clown.
I once read a list of low-stress jobs. It didn't include police work. Obviously, this guy hadn't read the same list. Excuse me, officer. Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
He sounds drunk.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern.
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician.
Not really.
What do you know about medieval ironmongery?
He's not going to know
Have a look
anything.
at this little baby.
A tripod. What is it for?
You mean you don't know?
No, monsieur. Nor do you, I think.
Would you like to shake? I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key. I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Talk to the crowd.
There was a small crowd of 5 sightseers. It's a weird thing, but you can take the most intelligent people in the world, put them in their vacation duds, and hey presto, they look like morons. Why is that? I had no desire to talk to the crowd. The juggler was good. Why he couldn't put that kind of application into getting a real job, I had no idea. Maybe he just liked dressing up like a horse's ass. Hey, you with the balls.
Oui.
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No, I am a jongleur.
A
A
jongleur.
jongleur? What's that?
Mon Dieu. A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitique aeroballetic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crowned heads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders, plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so. That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
I had no idea what I was doing. But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be? A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult. Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not.
What else can we...
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Le Templier? Ah, the last Grand Master, Jacques du Molay, was burnt on an island in the Seine in 1314.
Wow. You're pretty well educated for a juggler.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
What about the nose?
Look, a red nose.
Ah, you are a clown.
A clown?
No, if so, you would be a much better jongleur.
For a moment, an idea capered around near the spotlight of my attention, but fell down the pothole of abstraction before I could focus on it. It didn't seem right to fry somebody's palm when they make their living with their hands. What do you think of this?
It is a medical device, oui?
Catch you later.
Au
It's
revoir,
great in here.
In the middle of the square was a manhole. I wondered if there might be something relevant beneath street level.
Maybe. Can we go down there while he's standing there, or...
Hey! Hey you! What do you think you are doing? Leave that cover alone! Now!
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that!
We're going to have to distract him, are we? Can we go up here just now? This looks like they've scanned in real places. The textures.
A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies, the flabby flesh of the old men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies. Whoa!
I'll just save, because I haven't saved in a while. I'm going to go for a quick bio break and I might get some more coffee, so I shall be right back. Okay, back again. Get my headset again. Okay. Can we sit on there?
I didn't have time to sit around.
Talk to the priest.
A priest stood by the pews, energetically polishing something.
Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
What can we ask him? Ask him about the tripod.
I've got a medieval tripod.
Monsieur,
Ooh.
you are a walking treasure house.
How about this for a gem?
It is very beautiful, monsieur. And yet, I feel that there is an air of suffering about it.
Maybe not. No way.
Why not?
Have you seen this man before?
No, I have never seen him before.
It's not been very helpful.
I thought about using the shake and shock on him, but I couldn't do that to a priest. Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
What was the purpose of him?
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess.
We can look at that. There's something there. It's like a scroll. We can look at the window.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Not the only one.
A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell.
What on earth is this he's got around?
A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll. The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Why have we got the different music?
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack.
We need to open that up. But the priest is here in the way.
Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported. Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
Can we use the edge of the card? I didn't think that would work. Maybe talk to the priest.
A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
Can't go any further. No. Let's go talk to the priest.
Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur. How pleasant to speak to you again.
Talk to him about the window.
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Ireland recently and I brought back this plaster.
Ooh,
My sister brought back a shillelagh.
a shillelagh. Is that a musical instrument?
I've got a red nose.
Oui, so you have.
There's grease paint on this tissue.
Oui, you are correct.
I have here a sewer key.
Ah, oui?
We still need to get down the sewer outside.
What do you think of this?
A pressure sleeve and valve? What should I think?
Never mind. Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Do we do something with... We put plaster on here. Scratch the...
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it.
Can we rub it?
On the end...
Yeah. We've tried that, don't we? Everything else is just Luke. Hi Baron, how you doing? Can't use the electric thing. I think we need down into the sewer, don't we? What happens if we go up here? Does that just take you back to the same place? It does. Okay. How about if we give these guys a shock? Yeah. I can just talk to them.
I had no desire. Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
What do you think of this?
It is a medical device, oui?
Does this plaster interest you?
Well,
Forget it. Forget that I asked. Catch you later.
au revoir, monsieur.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
Can't talk to them about anything specific.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
You smoke.
No, I don't.
In that case, it means nothing to me.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Don't know. Talk to the copper again. See.
Hello again.
Hello again, monsieur.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody.
Do some work.
Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing. And not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Who ever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur, you had it.
So do I need to put the nose
I'll see you
on
around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
and then try and juggle?
The nose was hollow. Printed on the inside were the words, La Risée du Monde, Paris. It was a bright red plastic nose. Part of a clown's costume.
I'll not do it on myself? No. So how do I do that then? Do I give it to him? I don't think that worked.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
Okay, I can use
I'd
the
like
nose.
to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No. I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon. The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury.
He's left his red one though, or is that our nose?
Hey! You forgot one of your balls!
No, it's one of his balls.
But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
He's away, we can open the hatch. The sewer cover. It's a strange boat.
If I wanted to get deeper into these catacombs, I was going to have to get onto that path. If the near edge hadn't crumbled away, I could have jumped it easily.
What's all this?
There were 3 arches, each with an inscription. The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templiers and something about innocence. My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, "This is where the gallows used to stand." Maybe. A weird little boat lay tied up. I guess they used it to get maintenance crews around. Either that or the Phantom of the Opera was somewhere near.
Oh. On. Try
On the
again.
boat, was a winching machine.
Okay. Hmm.
The hook lay in a bed of chain. The wall had flaked. The inscription was undeciphered. I wondered why.
Do we not pick the chain up? We'd use that. And use that. That on there.
It was time for some brutal destruction. Hey, that's hollow! I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap. I'd pulled the lever right over. Inside the hole, I could see one of the cogs had come loose and jammed the mechanism solid.
Can we not use this chain then? Yeah. See before we go down here. What was down this other way? Ooh.
The door was a handsome piece of work. I pushed against the door, but it seemed to be locked.
Okay, I guess we can't do anything with it. Probably have to go the other way. Eh? What was the sheep noise for?
In the beginning was the end.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness.
In the end will be a beginning.
An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
God's loud.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is, as a corollary, hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say, our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results, not petty bickering, not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Baphomet.
Yes, of course. My apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ha!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition. The next time that we meet, it will be to become the princes of this world!
Wow.
They're away on their boat. Are we gonna go down there and see? See if we can find anything.
The water seemed to belong to an underground river or something. It was way too deep to belong to the catacombs.
Non omnis morier clarior e tenebus. What does that mean? Wonder what that means. Non Moria. I shall not wholly die. Clarior e tenebris. Brighter than the dark.
There was a large circle marked out on the floor with a stump in the middle. Around the circle,
because he speaks Latin, he's probably going to tell us.
On the circle's circumference were the Templar seal and 2 Latin phrases, non omnis moriar and clarior e tenebris. I shall not die completely, the brighter from the darkness.
I forgot he could speak Latin.
In the middle of the circle was a stump of stone,
tripod,
a shaft of daylight from the world above lancing down to touch it.
It's got 3 dots on it. We can put the tripod down.
The tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump.
But we don't have the dagger. What about the gem?
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays, and each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B, Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant.
Back in Nico's apartment.
Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria, but they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria.
Then the Neo-Templars are ahead of us. Klausner beat me to it.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to André, anonymously.
Okay.
Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
Let's have a quick look in here. Okay, so we are probably going to Syria. Let me not save. So this. To the airport. Syria. Some of this game is coming back to me. I remember this. There's a Jeep or something through here. A Land Rover or something.
Hey there, young fella. Speaky you the English? Speaker you the Anglaise? Parlez-vous anglais?
Yes, si, and indeed oui, and rather better than you by the sound of it. My name is Nicho. Welcome to my grand emporium of quality merchandise.
I'll buy the card.
So, this is your stand?
Oh, yes, sir. Though stand does not begin to do it justice. The finest in this bustling metropolis.
This is a bustling metropolis?
Well, not per se, no.
How much are those books there on the shelf?
Have you any Syrian pounds?
I think I might have a couple of Irish pund.
Then they're too expensive for you, sir.
You speak very good English.
Thank you, sir. I learned from tapes that my uncle procured.
Oh, a language course.
No, sir. Jeeves and Wooster, Gussie, Fink, Noto, Aunt Agatha, what ho?
Does the word Templar mean anything to you?
I love Jeeves and Wooster.
Ah, Templar. Templar! Why, yes, of course.
It does?
Yes. A splendid series of books by Mr. Leslie Chatteris, featuring the roguish Mr. Simon Templar.
Great. That's a real help, Nijo.
Wrong Templar.
Anything else?
The Saint television program, featuring Mr. Roger Moore.
Yeah, but then Neil...
And a stick man
Ian
with
Ogilvy.
a halo. Bing!
Ian Ogilvy took over the part later on. They had like a white Jaguar XJS car in the TV series, from memory.
So all Templar means to you is Roger Moore.
I only watched it for the stick man with the halo. Bing! He was better animated.
Have you seen this man before?
No, sir. I'm glad to say. Cold eyes.
What do you make of this?
Well, beyond the obvious, very little. That pattern seems very familiar, though.
Do you know the name Merlin?
I'm afraid not, old bean.
Old bean.
Here, shake hands, Nijo.
I'd rather not, sir.
Okay.
So long, Nijo.
Toodle pip, sir.
Who's that then?
It was the sort of bell you see in hotel receptions. Kind of unexpected here. The cat was an ugly brute who looked like he owned the joint. As I didn't see the point of going all the way over there to get scratched, I stayed where I was.
Ah, right. So...
I hadn't come all this way to seek out curios.
So... red nose for the cat. No, get the cat to go back over there. Can we put something down in its place? There, plaster. This must be for something. Okay, we'll leave that just now. Unless we talk to him about the cat.
Hi, Nijo.
Hello again, sir. And how may I help you this time?
That's not a very friendly cat you got there, Nijo.
No, sir. It is a very unfriendly cat.
Why do you keep it?
Oh, it's not mine. It just rests where it pleases. And today it pleases to rest there. As Kipling would say, it is a cat that walks by itself.
Fiercely independent.
And it smells.
Is that your father lurking in the back of the stand?
He is indeed. a roaring fellow. Ayup's his name.
You don't sound like you respect him very much.
Don't I? Not only do I respect him, I rather like him. For all his bluster, we get on very well.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this, eh?
Oh, sir, what a splendid plaything. One day, when I am rich, I am going to build a world-renowned collection of brightly colored balls.
Are you serious?
In deadly earnest. People will come from far and wide to see my
Yes?
collection. The Rockefellers and the Gettys can keep their hoards of so-called fine art. But answer me this. What good is a Picasso, I ask you, if you cannot bounce it off a wall?
You may have a point. What can I do with a blood pressure gauge?
Don't tempt me to tell you, sir.
This plaster was very useful in Ireland.
Really? Your fund of travelers' tales never ceases to enthrall me.
What do you make of this?
A man-sized double-ply tissue stained with Bestheimer's number 12 white pancake grease paint, apparently.
So, I'm correct in saying that the word Templar doesn't mean much to you.
Well, there was the Order of Knights who were wiped out in an Inquisition in 1312, I suppose.
That's them. What else do you know?
Just how much information do you think there is on a Trivial Pursuit card?
A what?
From the medieval edition. We had it on the stand a couple of years ago. Ask me what a feuter is. Go on, I know all this stuff.
Never mind.
What's a feuter?
Okay, forget about the Templars for a minute. What do you know about knights?
Like the Crusaders, they came to the East on an insane and pointless mission. They sacrificed thousands of lives, including their own, for insensate pride. How anyone can find them romantic confounds me.
Okay, so we're not. I wonder if he wants the ball.
Seriously, do you really think this thing's so great?
Take it away, you tempter.
I'll swap it for something off your stand.
Due to seasonal financial considerations, I'm afraid I cannot.
I thought you wanted this thing.
I do, sir. The stand doesn't.
Which in translation meant it's not really my stand, and I'll be in big trouble if I swap anything for something that I want myself.
Alternatively, is there any service that you require?
Not at the moment, but I'll bear it in mind. Look at this. A lifting key as used by Parisian sewer workers.
Kaloo Kalay, sir. I must remember this day for posterity. My grandchildren will be fascinated.
So long, Nijo.
Toodle pip, sir.
How do we progress this then? Can't give the red nose to the cat. No.
Hello. I was wondering whether you could help me.
Why, hi there, handsome. What can I do for you?
Hi, my name's George. I was just...
Well, it certainly is delightful to meet you, George.
My
name's Mrs. Henderson, but you can call me Pearl, I'm sure.
Okay, Pearl.
So nice to meet a friendly American face so far from home.
Pearl?
Yes, dear?
I was just wondering if you could help me.
Why, sure, precious.
Have you talked to the boy on the bric-a-brac stand?
Oh, you've met him? His name's Nijo, you know. Oh, he's just so cute, I could die. I'd love to bundle him up and take him back to Ohio.
He might not thank you.
I'm looking for something ancient, you know. Something to impress the folks back home. The poor boy was trying to do his best, but we still haven't found anything.
So, tell me a little about yourself, Pearl.
Me? Oh, a gentleman's interest is always so flattering. Well, my husband and I run a greetings card company in a cute little place called Akron in Ohio.
Akron? Cute? Little?
She's got really weird glasses, doesn't she?
Is your husband around, Pearl?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, he is. Sorry to disappoint you.
Do you know anything about medieval weaving?
I do a little needlework, but gosh.
It's okay. It was a long shot. Have you ever heard of a group of knights called the Templars?
Sounds familiar. I remember. Dwayne had a book. The Holy Something and the Holy Something Else, I can't quite recall. I read a little of it.
And?
Seemed like a lot of hooey to me.
I liked her too much to zap her with the buzzer.
Oh.
I've got some plaster of Paris.
That's nice, dear.
Have you seen this man before?
No. A friend of yours?
No, not really. What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Oh, it's grease paint. I thought somebody had gaudy taste in makeup.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
You're a philomenist?
Don't they have secret handshakes?
Oh, George, now you're teasing.
Have you ever heard of anybody calling himself Merlin?
Merlin?
No, Merlin. Merlin. There's an O in there.
Moulin?
You haven't, have you?
No, darling. No Moulins.
I've got to go now, Pearl.
It's been a pleasure, George. Don't be a stranger.
How did this guy make a living selling useless old machine parts in the middle of nowhere? The stand was hawking ancient machine parts.
We will probably need them. Can we talk to you?
Hi, I was wondering whether you could help me.
Why, sure, son. Always got time for a fellow American. The name's Henderson. Dwayne Henderson.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Henderson.
Hell, boy, I'm not in the office. Call me Dwayne.
Oh, okay. Dwayne? My name's George Stobart.
I need a quick bio break. I shall be right back. Okay, back again. What's that? We'll ask about Dwayne himself.
You're a long way from home, Dwayne.
Could say the same about you, George.